The moment you try to outsmart a narcissist, you have already lost. Picture it. They've gaslit you again, twisted your words, made you question your own memory, played victim when you're the one bleeding. You feel that surge of righteous anger in your chest. Your brain scrambles for the perfect response, the devastating comeback that will expose them, the irrefutable evidence that will make them admit what they've done, the strategy that will finally make them see. So you strategize, you document, you prepare your case, you plan your counterattack. And in that exact moment, you have stepped into their arena. You have accepted the premise that this is a game you can win. Because here's what you don't understand. A narcissist does not play by rules. They do not operate in reality. They do not seek truth or fairness or resolution. They seek supply. And your attempts to outsmart them, that's premium fuel. The samurai understood something about fighting a certain kind of enemy. Some battles cannot be won. They can only be refused. When you try to beat a narcissist at manipulation, you are fighting your own reflection. The house always wins because the house makes the rules. But what if you didn't fight? What if you did the one thing a narcissist cannot manipulate? Nothing. So why do you do it? Why, when a narcissist attacks, is your first instinct to prove them wrong? It starts with hope. Deep, painful hope. You grew up believing that if you could just explain well enough, present the right evidence, say the right words, people would understand. Truth would prevail. Justice would win. It starts with hope. Deep, painful hope. Maybe you had a parent who used logic to mask cruelty, who would present reasonable arguments for their unreasonable behavior. And you learned, if I can just argue better, think smarter, present my case more clearly, I can reach them. But you couldn't. And you blamed yourself. I'm not articulate enough. I'm not smart enough. I didn't have the right words. The problem is you grew up, but that hope didn't die. You are still trying to reach people who cannot be reached. You are still hoping that logic, evidence, and truth matter to people who abandoned those concepts long ago. When you try to outsmart a narcissist, you are subconsciously saying, if I'm just clever enough, strategic enough, one step ahead, they'll have to admit I'm right. They'll have to treat me fairly. But that's not how it works. A narcissist isn't playing chess. They're playing Calvin ball. The rules change every time you think you've figured them out. You present evidence. They deny reality. You set a boundary. They attack you for being mean. You call out their behavior. Suddenly, you're the abuser. This is Darvo. Deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. It's not a bug in their system. It's the operating system. The samurai would call this Muda no Tatakai, a futile fight, a battle with no honor, no resolution, no victory condition. When you engage in psychological warfare with a narcissist, you are shadowboxing. You're exhausting yourself fighting an opponent who isn't bound by the same reality you are. And every second you spend in that arena, you are feeding them. Your anger, your pain, your desperate attempts to be heard, that's narcissistic supply. You haven't outsmarted them. You've given them exactly what they want, your attention, your energy, your peace. So what's the alternative? How do you deal with someone who operates outside the boundaries of reality itself? The first step to defeating a narcissist is realizing that defeat is the wrong objective. You cannot win a rigged game. You cannot reason with someone who weaponizes reason. You cannot prove truth to someone who treats reality as optional. The only winning move is to refuse to play. This is what Zen philosophy calls mu, the unasking of the question. When someone asks, does a dog have Buddha nature? The answer isn't yes or no. The answer is mu. The question itself is flawed. When a narcissist creates a false dichotomy, are you saying I'm a liar or that you're crazy? Both options feed them. The warrior's answer is mu. I reject the premise of your question. This is what the samurai called seijaku, dynamic stillness, the ability to remain internally unmoved while external chaos rages. You cannot control a narcissist's behavior. You cannot change their nature. You cannot make them see truth. But you can control your proximity, your attention, your energy, your fortress walls. In practice, this means you stop asking, "How do I make them understand?" You start asking, "Why am I still explaining myself to someone who isn't listening?" You stop asking, "How do I win this argument?" You start asking, "Why am I arguing with someone who isn't operating in reality?" This is not about being passive. This is not about letting them win. This is about recognizing that engaging with a narcissist on their terms is already losing. You win by not playing. You outsmart them by refusing to be smart within their game. You cannot argue with someone committed to misunderstanding you. You cannot prove your innocence to someone invested in your guilt. The true victory is protecting your peace, not destroying theirs. The gray rock method is about becoming the most boring, uninteresting, unreactive version of yourself in the narcissist's presence. Remember, narcissists feed on reaction, anger, tears, defensiveness, justification. It's all supply. They don't care if it's positive or negative. They just need you engaged. Imagine the scenario. They bait you. "I heard you've been talking about me behind my back. You look tired. Are you okay? You seem off." "I'm just worried about you. Everyone's noticed you've been different." The scattered response, "What? Who said that? I never said anything about you. Why would someone tell you that? I've been nothing but supportive of you, and this is how you treat me. I can't believe." Feeding the beast. You've given them everything they wanted. The gray rock response. Them. "I heard you've been talking about me." You. Return attention to phone, work, task. Them. "Well, what do you have to say?" You. "Not much to say." Neutral tone, no emotion. Notice what you didn't do. Didn't deny. Denial invites them to prove their accusation. Didn't explain. Explanation signals their opinion matters. Didn't show emotion. Emotion is food. More gray rock examples. "What did you do this weekend?" "Not much. Errands." "Why didn't you respond to my text?" "Busy." "You seem distant." "Do I? Anyway, I need to finish this." The samurai knew, Tada, the power of being ordinary, unremarkable, invisible. When you become uninteresting, you become safe. Narcissists move on to more responsive targets. This is not about becoming lifeless. It's about strategic withdrawal of your authentic self from an unsafe person. You're still vibrant, emotional, and alive, just not with them, not anymore. If gray rock is about minimizing emotional supply, the information diet is about minimizing practical ammunition. Every piece of information you give a narcissist will be weaponized. Your hopes, your fears, your schedule, your relationships, your vulnerabilities, it's all future ammunition. The scattered approach, oversharing. You tell them about your new job opportunity. They undermine your confidence. You mention you're seeing a therapist. They mock you for needing help. You share that you're dating someone. They find a way to poison it. They collect data like a dossier. What makes you happy so they can sabotage it? What makes you insecure so they can exploit it? The information diet protocol, personal life. Things are fine. No details, relationships, seeing some people. No names, work, it's going. No specifics about promotions, challenges, or colleagues. Therapy, healing, never mentioned future plans. Revealed only after they're completed, if at all. Compare. Narcissist. How's work? You. Busy. You know how it is. Safe. Friend. How's work? You. Actually, I'm struggling with imposter syndrome about this promotion, and I need to talk through it. Extend this to digital information. They don't need to see your social media. They don't need to know your location. They don't need your new phone number. They don't need to know who your new therapist is. The warrior principle is Himitsu no Chikara, the power of that which is hidden. Your inner world is your sanctuary. They don't get access anymore. They will fish for information. You seem happy. New relationship. I saw you posted about traveling. Where are you going? How's your mom doing? I heard she was sick. Grey Rock responses, just enjoying life. Taking some time for myself. She's managing. Thanks. No hooks, no details, no ammunition. When they can't find your pressure points, they can't press them. This is the ultimate weapon, removing yourself from the game entirely. Strategic disengagement has levels. Level 1, low contact, when forced proximity exists, co-parenting, workplace, family obligations. Level 2, minimal contact, only through mediator or written communication. Level 3, no contact, complete severance, the gold standard. Level 1, low contact protocol. When you must interact, never alone. Always have witnesses or paper trails. Keep all communication written. Email, text, for documentation. Respond only to logistics, never to emotions. Use phrases, that doesn't work for me, not, I feel hurt that you, example workplace exchange. Them, you never supported my project and that's why it failed. Bad response, that's not true. I stayed late 3 times helping you and you never even thanked me. You're so ungrateful. Grey Rock. Response. I completed my assigned tasks. Moving forward, please send project requests through manager's name. Thanks. Level 2. Minimal contact mediated. All communication goes through a co-parenting app, documented, monitored, a lawyer, a family mediator, a mutual professional contact. You don't read their messages. The mediator extracts only necessary logistics and forwards them. Their emotional manipulation dies in the filter. You receive only, pickup is at 3 p.m. Saturday, not, you're a terrible parent and the kids hate you. Level 3. No contact, total disengagement. This is only possible when no kids together, no legal obligations, no workplace entanglement. The protocol is absolute. Block on all platforms, block their phone number, block their email, block their family and flying monkeys. Change your routines if you risk running into them. Do not check their social media. Do not ask mutual friends about them. Do not respond if they find a way to contact you. No contact is not cruelty, it's self-preservation. The samurai practice of Enkiri, the deliberate severing of an unhealthy bond. In feudal Japan, there were temples where people could go to formally end relationships that were destroying them. It was seen as an act of spiritual self-defense. Warning, when you go no contact, expect an extinction burst. Like a gambler at a slot machine that stops paying out, they'll pull the lever harder, faster, more desperately. Love bombing, threats, smear campaigns, emergencies, apologies, rage. The cycle intensifies. This is when you must hold the line. Every response resets the clock. Every engagement tells them, if I push hard enough, I can still reach you. The extinction burst ends. They move on to easier supply, and you get your life back. None of this works if you're using it as a weapon of revenge. If you go Grey Rock while internally seething, obsessing over what they did, planning your vindication, fantasizing about their downfall, you're still engaged. You're still feeding the connection. You're still bound to them, just with invisible chains. This brings us to the uncomfortable truth. Why did you stay so long? Why did you ignore the red flags? Why did you accept the crumbs? Why did you believe the lies even when evidence suggested otherwise? This is the shadow work, examining your own wounds that made you vulnerable to a narcissist in the first place. For many people, narcissists feel like home, not because home was safe, but because home was familiar chaos. Maybe you learned love means earning it. Maybe you learned your value comes from fixing broken people. Maybe you learned that if you're just good enough, patient enough, understanding enough, eventually you'll be seen. The painful truth, a narcissist is a mirror for your unhealed wounds. They show you where you lack boundaries, where you abandon yourself to please others, where you seek external validation instead of internal worth, where you sacrifice your reality to keep the peace. The real work isn't outsmarting them. It's healing the part of you that stayed. Questions for shadow work. What did I tolerate that I shouldn't have? When did I know, and why did I stay anyway? What was I trying to prove by making this work? Whose voice sounds like theirs? Usually a parent or early authority figure. What part of me still believes I need to earn love? This is not self-blame. This is self-awareness. You didn't cause their narcissism. You didn't deserve their abuse. Their choices are not your fault. But your choice to stay longer than you should have, that's information about you, and information is power. When you do this work, when you truly face why you stayed, what needs they were filling, what childhood wounds they were exploiting, the narcissist loses power.